First of all, I just want to say thank you both to you and Mr. Shapiro and everyone else who's going around the country doing these talks. I used to be a Bernie Sanders supporter in 2016. As of over a year ago, I realized I was a conservative all along, and I shortly thereafter became a open Trump supporter. Thank you for doing that, because it's working, and I'm proof of that. So please keep doing what you're doing. I kind of already know the answer to this, but I figured I might as well ask you a question anyway. It's my first time. This is my last semester here. I'm going to get my master's in film and television production, so I will be working in Hollywood come 2020, and I'll be surrounded by a lot of these people. So I was wondering if you had any advice for me going into arguably the most liberally dominated industry in the country.
My first bit of advice, if you want to have success in Hollywood, I'd lose the shirt. I would not wear that shirt to your first film set. This raises a serious question. I've worked in Hollywood a fair bit, and I know people who have worked at the highest levels of Hollywood. I have many friends who have done that. And when they've come out about their politics, it's funny that you have to use that kind of language, come out. It is. It's much more dangerous to come out as a conservative in Hollywood than it is to come out with any sort of sexual preference. But that's the issue. That is the reality. That's the fact. And when they have come out as conservatives, they've lost their jobs, they've lost their careers, they've lost millions and millions of dollars. James Woods loses his agent. They get blacklisted. The blacklist is real. It's not some conspiracy theory. Will and Grace proved it. They openly called for a blacklist of anybody who attended a Trump dinner. So you have a choice. If you're going to go out there and be open about your political views, you have to be comfortable with the reality that very likely you won't work. There are different portions of the industry where you're more likely to work than others. If you want to be a starlet or an actress or something, you probably should be quieter. If you're going to work behind the camera, maybe you'll have a better shot. Then you have to make a choice. Are you going to be very vocal, or are you going to be a little more quiet? If you're going to be a little more quiet, maybe you can achieve more in the end. If you're a little more furtive about it, maybe when you're making movies, you can convey a conservative message. You can move the culture in the right direction. You don't always have to be bombastic. You can be clever. You can be sly. You want to be innocent as a dove and clever as a serpent. A lot of people now are clever as doves and innocent as serpents. That's like most of what Hollywood is. But you should be the opposite. But you've got to find the line of where being quiet and playing the long game and being able to do something in the end doesn't just become cowardice because there is no something in the end because you kept your head down your whole life and then it was over. You've got to find that line. I can't make that decision for you because whatever decision you make is going to have serious costs. There is nothing free, especially in this town. You've got to make the decision. Obviously, I made my decision. I sleep great every night. Other people made other decisions. They were able to work in the industry. They were able to move things forward. That's your career. That's your decision. You've got to figure out what cost you're going to pay and do it and stay strong. And I'm glad to hear that we could help in some way. And that's terrific what you're doing.